Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's been a while. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Uh, I kind of talk about today is prophecy and policy. You know, judicial, legislative branches, and enactments of laws. You know, one of the craziest things that is when it was asked, Jibreel alayhi salam, asked Rasulullah sallallahu when the hour will come. He said, no one knows, but that there would be certain signs. One of the signs was said was about the woman would give birth to her master, and it is understood by many of the ulama that this is talking about children run the homes, but this couldn't happen unless unless there was laws to ensure that that would occur. And how would that occur? That would occur by certain laws being taking away rights from parents or from adults, teachers, principals, to discipline youth. And once there's no, when there's no consequences for bad behavior, then then people run amok, and then when you turn around and give the same individual the rights of an adult, even though they may not be mature mentally or emotionally, in order to make educated decisions from life experiences and from information, then you really compound the problem. And so you have children who divorce their parents. You have children who threaten their parents with 911. You have young men whose parents and grandparents are afraid of them, scared of them, and because of laws that ensure that if any threat or whatever the case is made, that automatically the parent will be held accountable for it, even when it's false. And the slander sometimes is more harm than the actual fact. And so, when the Prophet Muhammad SAW said that they would give birth to their masters. This is one of the craziest things that I see now in this day, where parents and grandparents are afraid of their children. Literally afraid. We're talking about literally afraid, and part of the fear. The only two agencies that have the authority by the judicial legislative branches to enact any type of force, and then it is considered to be justified force, are the law enforcement and corrections. Now, I'm not saying anything against any group. I'm just saying that when it comes to it, if the parent does the same thing that the law enforcement does, then the parent would probably be held or put in some sort of restraining situation, whether it's jail or whatever, will be held accountable for it. But on the other hand, the probability of the same exact scenario with enforcement won't be, or correction won't be, and they will be defended by a slew of lawyers backing them on that. Where if the parent was allowed, the mature and adult was allowed to do so, the probability that the child would never even behavior would even become so bad that they would even get to that stage. Now, no method is 100%. Let us get that clear. No method is 100%. And it's funny because in the Quran, when they ask you about gambling and intoxicants, say, in it is a benefit, but the harm is greater. And, this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deals with issues. He deals with what is the best for us. What is the best? And what will do the most harm? Something that does harm may have some benefit, but the benefit may be only 25%. The benefit may only be 15%. But the harm may be 85%. The harm may be 75%. It's not even 100%, but it is a majority. So Allah doesn't want us to do that or to have that. And such is the situation, when He asks us to do things It's because there's going to be 85% margin that it will be beneficial to us. It might cause us inconvenience. It might make us uncomfortable. It may make us question our own selves and our values and our ethics and our principles and what we've been taught to believe. And so, therefore, it may make us uneasy and maybe even difficult. But the reality is that it will be better for us. And so, this is one of the things that many situations where it comes to the benefits and it comes to many of the prophecies are coming about simply because of policies, simply because of legislation that has been passed, is being passed. There's a constant. There's a constant with Allah. There's a constant with all of the prophets. There's a constant, and the constant is that they all saw things almost diametrically in opposition to what the statesmanship at that time saw things. That's the first thing. And we was talking about the morality of it, of the situation. Because number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not love oppression of any group of people. He doesn't love oppression of any group of people. He doesn't love hatred of any group of people. So therefore, his laws are based upon not oppressing any group at any particular time. So this is just what I wanted to kind of discuss, is the fact that many of the prophecies of the prophets, of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of the Prophet Isa alayhi salam, of the prophets Elijah, Elisha, all of the prophets that came, many of their prophecies are fulfilled through legislation. And just think about it. Because once legislation is passed, certain things can't occur. And therefore, with that being said, Alhamdulillahi lazi, akhayna ban amatana wa lahi nushur, ashkur Allah subhanahu min hada, wa inama ashkari lillah, ana taban jidda. Very tired, man. Make dua for me, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ameen. Alhamdulillah.